Yes, Andy. He's hurt himself during the gym warm-up. I don't know what to call it. Anyways, yeah. So hopefully he'll be back in the next few days.
Was the plan to go with Anders Nielsen tomorrow?
Yes.
Yep. Combination of him playing well, team playing better in front of him.
I just, he's had two really good games. He's won, 6 of his last 8? Is that where we're at now? Yeah. So, whatever good thing you can ride, you ride it for sure.
Yeah. Are you calling up a goalie then for tomorrow night?
There's a chance we are, but, yeah. Hey?
And a forward.
Yeah, we'll need to call up a forward, but most probably we'll go the same lineup as last game and more of probably a backup measure. Yep.
The Hurricanes have been a bit of a surprise team to a lot of people. What is it they're doing?
Honestly, I think they've got real mobile defensemen. To be honest with you, their goaltenders have done well. So. But really, to me, if you look at the NHL, your defensive core, of all those top teams are all really good, and they've got really good quality depth there. So when you look at their team, that's what they got. Like if you don't look at names and you look at it, just for us, when we look at video, the last times we played them, that's the first thing we told the players. They've got real mobile defensemen, good gapping defensemen. They can all move the puck. They've got a lot of shots. They're a team that shoots a lot, but it emanates from defensemen. That's the big thing, and they've got hardworking forwards on 4 lines. Really, if you look at their 3rd and 4th lines, they're a hardworking team. So what they've got is what you need to kind of surprise, I would say, and that you look at Arizona's doing pretty good. Well, their defensive core, that's where it's at. Usually when you're hurting, it starts back on defense. That's whether you're old and not fast enough, or you're young, or whatever, or you don't have enough quality defensemen. Because defensemen, everything starts there. If offensively, breakout, your transition, your O-zone, your defenseman active in the O-zone, the shots that are at the net, towards the net, being able to beat the other team's forecheck because you're evasive, because you're a defenseman, how quick you can give it to your forwards, and defensively, the gap, leaving the opponent, a little space and time to make plays. And so, whether you look at Nashville or, we played Winnipeg the other day, but if you look at their lineup, it's on defense, they're terrific. And so, yeah, their defensive core has been really, really good for them, and very mobile.
How's Cody Ceci playing today?
No, actually, very, very good. Yeah, we've given him some really good grades the last game, so I think his defensive game was unbelievable the last game, so I thought he was everywhere on the ice. His gap was terrific, closed in on, the players that we played lately, and his game in Toronto was really good there too. So I thought he's playing really good, but it's also coupled with the fact that Lajoie is playing very good. So, Cody's been also dependent on, he's kind of been grooming a young guy since the beginning with him. And so whenever the young guys are having good games, it definitely helps him be able to just do his job. So when you have to do your job and think of the other guy's job at the same time, it kind of catches you in between sometimes. And I think right now, since the break, I think Elijah's been playing really, really good. He really needed a break big time. Like those young guys, I think that break was more than needed, because you get to the point where it's hard to sustain what you're doing as a rookie for sure. And I think Laj, being the guy that was the most exposed, that had the highest difficulty as a rookie than anyone else on the team, he's the one that needed the most rest, and he got it, and that helps him, but it helps the pair also for sure.
Do you get to the point, and I don't know if you're at it now, but do you get to the point where you have a talk with Ben Harper and tell him he doesn't need to accept every fight anymore? He's up around 6 fights now, which in today's NHL.
Yeah. Nope, don't have to have that talk. He's not a free fighter. So I get those talks when I see free fights for no reason. And there's not much anymore of that in the NHL. And I've always disliked those fights, to be honest with you. Like everybody's are you a proponent of fighting or not fighting? For me, it's just gonna happen because it's such a physical, emotional game. But it's not a question of promoting it. I've never been promoting the fights, but it's going to happen because guys want to defend each other. They want to defend their partners. They want to defend, and that's how Harps does it. So he's always doing it for the right reasons. So I don't think there's any issue having a talk with him here. Once you get guys who just free fight everywhere and just because they want to stay in the league with the free fights and show, I don't think there's a place for that in the NHL anymore. That's my personal opinion. But he's been doing it because, he saw one of his buddies get hit and it was nasty, or somebody, challenged him after he hit some guy, and now it just became an emotional moment and all that. So, no, I think he chose his moment really well. And it just gives him one more tool in his toolbox.
Cal Bodker, is there any update?
Yeah, he'll get on the ice this week, so hopefully maybe we get good news and maybe next week he joins us, but it won't be for this week.
When you say get on the ice, you mean skate with you guys?
Yeah, he's skating now, but maybe we can get him on the ice by the end of the week with us, hopefully, but maybe I just said that and I'll get a tap on the hand there because I go back down and the medical staff is, what are you talking about? Yeah, so I don't know. I'll see.
So he's probably won't start the trip with you?
I highly doubt. Yeah, I highly doubt he'll start the trip with us, but maybe today everything's great, and there's still tomorrow, and then there's still, Wednesday morning before we leave, so sometimes 2 days is a lot. Moi, c'est dur à dire personnellement. Je sais ce que Pierre a fait avec. Là. Il y avait 2-3 points là, bien importants. Quand lui, il le voyait, puis il se disait, moi, je pense que je suis capable de l'aider avec tel aspect et tel aspect. Je sais qu'ils se sont mis là-dessus tout de suite au début. Puis les performances sont venues. Fait que quoi qu'il y ait quoi, le pourcentage, c'est bien difficile à évaluer. Tu sais, des fois, un joueur part d'une équipe, s'en va ailleurs, puis là, juste parce que c'est un environnement différent, tout d'un coup, il respire, puis il voit une autre opportunité. D'autres fois, c'est comme tu dis, là, puis la plupart du temps, c'est un mix. C'est très rare là, que tu peux dire il y a un point spécifique. T'sais, on veut tout ça, je sais, parce qu'en plus, pour vous autres, c'est plus facile, parce que vous êtes capable d'arriver avec quelque chose à dire, puis il y a quelque chose de très spécifique, mais la réalité, c'est habituellement, c'est un mix. Il est parti d'une situation, là, il voit une autre opportunité, il s'est rafraîchi, il arrive ici, il a joué une bonne game, là, on s'en va dans les pratiques, puis avec Pierre, il travaille certaines choses, il a vu que ça fonctionnait. Fait que là, c'est sûr que la confiance a grandi dans ce temps-là. Fait que, tu sais, des fois, tu arrives dans une autre équipe, puis le style de cette équipe-là te va mieux aussi. Tu sais, il y a tellement de facteurs qui font qu'un joueur part d'une équipe, s'en va ailleurs, puis vice-versa. Tu sais, il y a des joueurs qui sont super bons, puis s'en vont ailleurs, puis ils produisent plus. Tu sais, on le voit là, dans les dernières années, il y a des gars qui sont partis d'ici, là, fait que on s'attendait à ce que tel gars super bien. Il y en a qui sont plus dans le national, il y en a qui produisent moins, tu sais. Puis il y en a d'autres, c'est le contraire, s'en va ailleurs tout d'un coup, tu sais. Ça dépend vraiment des circonstances, puis de la personne lui-même. Fait que c'est tellement complexe que tu peux pas mettre le doigt sur une affaire, ça c'est certain.